What's up, party people? Strobe Quintarian here, and it's been a long time since I've done a video, I've streamed, or anything of that sort. So a lot of things have happened with me, life-wise. Had to move into a new home, got a new job. With the new job, new schedule. Kind of got into some writing and stuff like that. But the fact is that we're going to try and give this another go around. Now, unfortunately, the lighting in this new area is a little bit off compared to before. Unfortunately, I had to return some equipment that I was borrowing from a friend. So that'll just be a goal to kind of replace that so we can get a little bit lighting. But without further ado, let's get to the topic of what this video is going to be about. Now, I've seen in Facebook and the Tekken group that been in, a lot of times players are wondering, hey, is my opponent cheating? And there are actually some really good videos that are out there. I know VDX has done one, some others by other players that play other games as well, that kind of give you a clue as to, hey, my opponent could be cheating. Now, most of the time they'll do videos like this because they've ran into someone who they believe is cheating, and likewise, I think I've ran into my very first cheater online. So we're going to break this down and kind of cover some points to, one, identify in game and kind of tell you my thought process of, hey, I think my opponent is cheating, and things you can kind of do to exploit what they're doing. So the first thing is, not every PC player cheats. And I know that's kind of a big theory out there. Is like, don't accept, if you play on console, don't accept matches from PC players because all of them are cheaters. That's not true. I'm a PC player. I don't cheat. And I've been playing this game for several years, and this is the first time I feel like I've actually ran into somebody who I can actually identify as cheating. Second, be honest with your gameplay. Is your gameplay really predictable? Are you being super obvious with some of the stuff you're doing that your opponent is just easily being able to read you? Go back and we'll go into our, the biggest way to be able to tell momentarily, but do an honest assessment of your gameplay, because maybe the other person's not cheating, maybe it's just you're being super predictable. Now, whenever I see this topic come up on Facebook, one of the first things that is super difficult to tell is people will post a replay, but they'll do a replay without any input history on, so you can't really tell. So the first thing is, you need to go to the replay. You have to turn input history on. And these are going to be the things that you're going to be looking for. Is there odd behavior from your opponent while they're blocking? Are there common punishes that a player at their skill level is not doing? For example, they're blocking stuff that they really good reads or just insane reactions, but they're not doing anything from it. And oversimplified gameplay from the skill level that a person should be at. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at two replays. Well, one replay fully and a couple matches from another replay. So one of the replays, the first one we're going to tackle is who I believe is a cheater. And the second one is going to be from someone who seemed like it was a little bit suspicious, but after reviewing the replay, you can tell that this person was not cheating. They were just flowcharting. Even with their defense, they were flowcharting, and me being a mid-tier player that I am, kind of gave into some of the stuff they were doing. When looking back, it was like, I probably could have did some better things. But with that, let's get started. To get started, we're going to go over this match that I had with this law player at Tekken King at the name of E2XKO. So this is the person who I suspected as cheating, and after going through, will allow you to make your decision as to whether or not we believe that this player was cheating. Now, we're going to go through this round by round, and so the first time we're going to watch the round uninterrupted. with no inputs on, and then afterwards we're going to go through and break it down where I think specifically that this player might have been trying to exploit things from a script and whatnot. Right? So first time we're going to watch through, straight through. And then I'll give you kind of what I was thinking at the time as best as I can remember. So right now, just kind of jousting for position, nothing crazy. So right now, he's not really attacking, being kind of defensive. Right? Very, very good duck for that throw that I thought. All right, blocked the low, a little, possibly a little obvious, but a little suspicious given that he ducked that throw attempt. Right? Another clean block low. So I'm like, okay, now before we go further, that first round, my thought process was, you know, this guy had some really good, you know, reactions. Both of the lows that I did were pretty slow, and other than the throw attempt that he just ducked, that was really the only thing that I had any questions. So let's go look at that throw attempt, and then we'll also look at the two sweeps that were dodged. Go back to round one, and let's look at these with the inputs on to see how quickly they reacted. This is just before I did the first throw, and throughout this match we see that this person's inputs, for the most part, if we back it up just a little bit, just beginning of the round, they're pretty much just pushing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, maybe a little bit down, but they're not really ducking too much. So let's just focus on the inputs of my opponent. As you can see, a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, kind of some down inputs. So that's what it is. It's trying to sidestep the kick. And then we see right here, I implemented a throw. Here's my throw. With one frame of animation, this person is already ducking, inputted a duck, one frame into this animation, this throw animation. That is uncanny. Either they had a super strong read, or they have a device that's implementing for the reaction, because that's impossible for a human being to react this quickly. Right? And then he just backdashes, right? Now, if this person is really this good, if they had a feeling I was going to do a throw, they would at least try to attack, but they just backdashed. Now, so they had this amazing duck right here, and their answer so they're hitting back, down, back, and then they backdash, and then come in. My Cali roll, and then right here is where I hit to try to sweep them. Basically, reverse backdoor, dear God, back turn snake edge. Good lord. So yes, back turn snake edge. All right, I just inputted my move right here, right? Move has barely started. Move barely started. They're already hitting down back to block. Already hitting down back to block. Now, could they have just figured this was gonna come? It's a possibility, right? After I do Cali roll, if I don't do the spring donkey kick looking thing, I'll usually go with the sweep kind of out of autopilot, function of myself. So could they have blocked it just by knowing the situation? It is a possibility, but that is uncanny reactions, right? Okay, again, another sweep, another snake edge, back turn snake edge I tried. Let's see if I can All right, there. All right, there's the input. I inputted just right there to do rear stance snake edge. Already, they were backdashing into block down. Right? Now they're punished while rising 2. Basically takes the round. At this point, I think it's kind of weird. I think it is very unusual that my opponent, the the block snake edges really weren't that big of a tell, honestly. Again, they're very slow moves. They are very reactable. That's not what clued me in. What really clued me in was them their amazing duck on my throw attempt. That's kind of what kind of tipped me off. Maybe there's something going on. So to test it out, I'm like, okay, my first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go with down 3. It's a very quick, low attack and see what happens. And so that was my thought going into round 2. So let's see what happens. All right, blocks it immediately. All right, gets hit by the second one. All right, going with a lot of mids. All right, another block low. That's 3. All right. We're not going to talk about my terrible lack of punish. All right, no nunchuck. All right, blocked. Another block low. So 3 of 5 lows they blocked. Good sidestep on my throw. All right, countered. Interruption. All right, 3 for 3 for low blocks. And finished them off with a mid. So go back to round 2, and we're going to break this down. All right, it's super hard to try to stop this as soon as possible, but we can let's look at the inputs. Immediately, as soon as the round started, I was inputting down 3. Down 3, mashing. That's, like I said, at the beginning, that was what my goal was, to test this out. He's backdashing, has a 1 frame down back to down to block this attack. Right out the gate, when initially they were pretty obvious looking, they were trying to backdash out. So you go from trying to backdash out to respond to a move that is 14 frame. This is a 14 frame attack. 14 frame attack. That this person was able to react to when initially they were going to backdash, and then were able to react in time to block this attack. More than likely, not possible. I don't know what. I'll find out what the reaction speed of the human is, and I'll post it on here at this point of the video. But something tells me that it's not likely that that's possible. Again, very suspicious. So they blocked it. I'm gonna go for it again. Now I hit him. Why did I hit him this time? I hit him because I caught them in the middle of their backdash. If we see here, they were still trying to backdash, but they got hit in the middle of their backdash, and then afterwards tried to compensate the block. All right, let's keep going. Mid, because he keeps backdashing, and the reason why he's getting hit all of these times is he's backdashing. All right, there's the input. My input for down back 2. All right, it's coming out. I screwed it up. My bad, guys. So we can see I inputted it, and in the middle of the backdash again, they managed to block this low attack. Again, this is, I believe, like a 14 frame move. Very quick, super difficult, even for some of the best players to react to something like this, especially if you're trying to create space. Now let's go to this throw. Attempt. Okay, 2 things. So here, or 3 things actually. All right, so 1, no follow-up. Again, they got hit because they were backdashing. Alright, that's a mid. High. Alright. This time they were able to block another low. Now watch this. The low comes, whiffs, right? Whiffs completely. He ducks afterwards because my character's hitbox gets close enough to force the script to force him to duck block. You see that? Right here? He was backdashing, 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 and then decides to try to crouch afterwards. Now, they could have reacted late. It's a possibility they could have reacted late to this, but more than likely, it seems that something again was aiding him. All right, put there, right there. Now, this right here, I believe, was on the player. They were trying to sidestep, and they got a good sidestep in. So, no shenanigans on this particular part of this match. Good interruption on my part. Okay, now another block. Alright, and Hypnotist, and I immediately, from Hypnotist, immediately go into the low attack. Not blocking, trying to, again, looks like they're trying to backdash, and then right at the last moment, they block. And their answer, while rising 2, and if I had any sense, I would have punished this every single time, but, you know, sorry I'm a scrub, but, you know, you try to get better. You try to get better. Alright, continue. Alright, they got hit with the low. Why? They're backdashing. This player is backdash, backdash, down, back, back, down, back, back. What I think happened is that they were trying to backdash. The script tried to make them duck, but because they were in between two different inputs, it didn't work. So they got hit. And because they were in between inputs and still trying to backdash, look right here, they're still trying to backdash. Still trying to backdash. They got caught by a throw, and they don't know how to break the throw because they were just late, possibly. Right? And hit him with a mid. Let's go into round number 3. Alright, another amazing duck. Alright, that was me using my lizard brain. Can't get out of my own way of autopiloting. Still trying to test lows for some odd reason. Right, another low block. Decent punish. Low, low. Used the wrong punish. Right. Caught him with the frame trap. Splat the wall. Probably was holding down. And got him with the final combo. Alright, round 3 breakdown. Let's break down every single low block and missed throw. Okay. Throw attempt on this. Let's see when I go. Run. Nope. Alright. There's my throw attempt. They're backdashing again. Look at this. Back, forward, 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 back, down, forward, back, forward, down for maybe they're trying to sidestep here. Back, but they're trying to move, right? They're trying to move. They're not really trying to do anything, right? Looks like they're trying to backdash. Trying to backdash. They did backdash, and then immediately a 6-frame down, back to down, 8 frames to duck this throw. Then down, back. Really no punish. Alright, I hit him with the low. Why is that? Oh, they were hitting buttons. They're hitting buttons, and so because if you're hitting buttons, you can't block. It's kind of fundamental. Right, continue on. Right, mid. Alright, again, my lizard brain cannot stop doing this move. Eventually, I'll learn to stop doing it. But that wasn't this match. And so, also, here's the thing. Let's look at the sequence where I Cali roll. Alright, elbow, Cali roll. How many times does he attempt to duck? One. Okay, so he tried ducking there. Cali roll again. Trying to down back, but it looks more realistic, right? He's hitting down, kind of down back, down back. Tries, gets the punish. Oh, never mind. Doesn't look looks realistic because he blocked it, right? So there. Let's one more time. Let's see if I can catch it. Okay, there's the move. Just started. Nope. Wrong one. Okay, now here it is. There we go. So he was kind of hitting down a little bit beforehand, anticipating the low. Gets it. I get launched because I'm an idiot. You know, that happens. All right. All right, another low block. Let's check it out. All right, there's the input. Already down back. Down back. Good punish. All right. Bad punish on my part. All right, how to get hit? Let me. I bet $5 he was trying to backdash. Backdash, backdash again. Yep, trying to backdash. All right, caught by the frame trap. Okay, now this duck, I believe he was just holding down after wake up. All right, it's holding down, holding down. Holding down. Again, I think this one was okay. The player was just holding down, anticipating a low attack, which I'm fine with. Alright. How'd they get hit by this low? Missed. Mashing buttons. Mashing buttons. Still mashing buttons. Mashing because they're expecting to get thrown. You see, look at all these throws while holding back. I'm assuming they're either trying to parry or they're trying to anticipate a throw. But they're hitting buttons and they get hit and die. Alright, we're going to just go through this last one. We're not going to analyze it, but... Alright, got him. Alright, another block. Alright, we're gonna look at just all the low blocks. Okay, again, they were down. They're trying to backdash from against the wall for some odd reason, but then they hit down back again. Yeah, doesn't make a lot of sense. Alright, bad punish on his and my part. Right, backdash, got caught backdashing, got hit by the low, and now just exploit mids and end the round. So there we go. But that was the law match. A lot of things that just seemed very suspect about this person's play and how they were unable to really. It didn't seem like they were reacting. It seemed like something was aiding them. That's just my opinion. Please, if you take a chance to watch this and you see it, let me know what you think. Maybe there's somebody that knows something a little bit more than I do, and you can explain to me what's going on. But from what I'm seeing, I believe that this person was not playing the game honestly. Let's put it that way. So, let's go back to the replay list, and we'll check out this Kuma player who did seem a little bit suspect, but there were some moments where they were flow charting their defense. So, let's take a look. But I just want to show you things that look suspect, but other things that can make you definitely aware that the person is not cheating. Okay, so we're going to do this. And we're going to wait for the low attacks. and then we'll break those down when they occur. So now, one of the things that I didn't learn very well is that this Kuma player is autopilots. They flowchart. They do basically the same thing match after match, and it's very effective because they end up beating me in the set. So nothing from the first round. Alright, so this is a low parry. So let's break down the low parry real quick. Alright, right here. Right here. Now, as soon as I hit down back one, this is where it kind of seems suspect. Where they kind of backdash, but they stop, they hit down and down forward, which means that could it be cheating? Possibly could be cheating, right? But this is, as we kind of see more of these matches, we'll see that this Kuma just anticipates that a person's gonna go low, and I kept going low. All right, another time. So again, I tried to go low. Their response was a little bit later, and that's another key, is it's not happening right on the frame that it occurs, where my down is here, but it is kind of similar to the last player where I did a down attack, but instead of getting blocked, this person is parrying, right? Again, looks very suspicious. Again, if I was worth the damn, maybe I wouldn't just be getting wrecked. All right, another low parry. All right, goes low. Nothing yet. No reaction. Almost right there. So, again, this looks super suspicious that this person is just doing it. But if we look at my tendencies, I keep kind of going low at the same time as well, right? So that kind of goes back to my point of analyzing your own gameplay. Were you doing stuff that was obvious? We're going straight to round 4 because I got perfected. Nothing to see there. I just got bodied. Now look at this, right? Now, this is an example of flowchart defense, right? Go here. I go for the frame trap. Doesn't bite, but what does he do? Down forward. So this player is hitting down forward at times where he thinks that I'm going to go down. Now, if I would have attacked low, I probably have, because right before I did attack low right at about this time where there's a slight break. So this player is anticipating low attacks, and their answer to it is they're looking for the low parry. They're gunning for the low parry, right? Doesn't come, he just keeps doing his offense, right? So this is another way. Okay, there we go, right? Right, and then right after I do this, low attack. There, right? Just checking for the low. There. 1, 2. Low attack. Right? Held it for 15 seconds. Again, this person's fishing for low parries. And this is me not knowing the matchup. There we go. Alright. Didn't suspect it that time for once. Let's see, I don't know if there's really much to see in this one. I think most of it was from the last round. But there is one specific moment I do want to highlight that was in another round match. If we don't get a moment like that in this match, which I don't think we do, we won't. Yeah, so I'm going to have to go to the last match. Let's go to the last match. There's a specific moment that I want to highlight from this set, from the last match that we played together, that concrete shows that this player was not cheating. we're just gonna look only at round 2 of this, of the third match in the set. And spoiler, I lose the set. So we're not gonna look at the whole thing, but there is a specific moment that shows that this player is flowcharting defense and they are not cheating. So let's take a look. Let's analyze this. All right, we're gonna pay attention to my terrible fact that I don't know to punish some of these moves. I mean, I do know to punish some. I just didn't. You know, getting hit by this. All right, so one, this person has shown multiple times that they just don't know this string from Xiao Yu, which is amazing because, as you can see, there is no attempt whatsoever to block the low hit. They just don't try. Right? So just offense. I don't know what I was doing there. All right. So this low parry. This is the moment that I want to show off specifically, and then we will wrap up this video. But as I'm going here, I come here. Now attack. Look at here, right here. Look at this input. They're already holding down forward. They're holding down forward for 10 frames. I haven't even attempted to do my move yet. Still. All right, they released, and then they're going back into it again. So they're fishing, as you can tell, they are fishing for this low parry. I just now did, after they did the first 12 frames, I finally inputted a low, and like their call out, they get the low parry. So this right here proves that Kuma is king, was never cheating. They just feast on fishing for low parries, and it works for them. So the idea would be to, you know, throw out more mids, and not use lows, so you don't get constantly low parried. That pretty much brings us to the end. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned. Let us know what you think. Do you believe that the law player was cheating, or was just playing honestly and just had fantastic reads? Do you think that the Kuma player might have been cheating, or do you think they were just playing honestly? Do you think neither of them were cheating, or do you think both of them were cheating? Let your answers be heard in the comment section below. Thank you for giving this a watch. I hope to come back and do more videos like this in the future. This one just was just a great moment of opportunity that I could speak on this, just due to the fact that, like I said, over the number of years that I've been playing Tekken 8, this is the first time that I could honestly say that I felt the need to go back and look at the replays to try to verify if a player was actually cheating or not, and I felt more confident than not that that law player was playing dishonestly. But that's it for me today. I will catch you donkeys next time. Peace.